Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I have a product spotlight video here for you. It's actually a product and a part that I'm a really big fan of and use pretty much on all of my bikes. So today we're going to talk about a needle bearing bushing. This one in particular is from Real World Cycling. So what is a needle bearing bushing? I've been asked that quite a few times in some of my videos, which is why which sparked the interest to create this. So a needle bearing bushing is basically a bushing that you use in replace of your traditional Teflon bushing in the shock eye, or a lot of them now use a IGUS bushing if you use like a Fox, DVO, and other ones. So what a needle bearing bushing though is, it's still a bushing, but it basically has like a holder for just a bunch of horizontally laid, call them needles or pins. And then when you have your shock eye bolt spacer in there, it allows it to spin freely. So there's almost zero friction or stiction there versus a traditional style bushing, which when you try and spin with your hand, you know, they're typically not going to move. It's when you get under your body weight, you know, a lot of that shock pressure and leverage ratio of the bike to get it to move. So it basically lets you free up that rotation in there. So the theory in that is to let your suspension basically move around better. Now on this particular one, I have it on my Push 11.6. I only use it on the back because that's typically where all the rotation happens. On my bike, from compression to full compression, it pretty much only moves like that. So the rearward link is where all the rotation happens. And so if you have a bike that has, you know, like two links that you know, your shock sits in between and has a lot of rotation, you might look at replacing both ends, but on this one, typically, I only do on the rear. Durability wise, I've actually never had one fail in under a year. There have been comments on some failing, but you know, then again, I've heard IGUS bushings and you know, DU bushings failing as well. So for typically $30 to $40, depending on how big of a hardware kit you need, I think it's a small investment for quite a bit of noticeable performance. You know, even if you had to do it, you know, once a year. So let's take a look at the kit. So this is one that's getting ready to go on a new bike. So here is what you get in the kit. All right, this is a complete needle bearing kit from Real World Cycling. Typically what you'll get is your caps for your hardware. You will get a 6mm and 8mm sized sleeve for if your bike has a 6mm or 8mm bolt. This is the actual needle bearing itself that will go into your shock eye. And then you also get these little these are different sized spacers. So they have a standard size, and then they have like a plus size, and then I believe a plus plus. So if depending on if your starts to wear out a little bit, or if you need to dial in the correct fit, these are machined with very tight tolerances to basically take up any slack. And so typically if I notice that there's a little bit of play that develops, I'll swap one out and go up to the next size, and it takes that play out, and then I just kind of keep going up. So this particular kit I believe cost me around $40. And again, the size depends on how big your hardware is going to be. So some kits like on mine, these are really thin because the mounting width is very small. On my next bike, it's going to be pretty wide, so you can kind of see how much wider those are. All right, so I hope that answers some questions about what needle bearing bushings are. If you're looking to try one, I actually worked out a special offer with Enduro Fork Seals. They are the makers of these. If you're wanting to try one, there is a coupon code that you're able to use. So it's for 25% off your purchase. And basically the coupon code is vicariously. And the website is enduroforkseals.com. I'll have the link both in the description and then also down here showing visible. So yeah, so go on, give them a try. They have a size chart, so if you are questioning, you know, what kind of hardware width you need for your bike, they have it all on their website and ready to go. If you have any further questions on needle bearing bushings, the performance or anything, any concerns, let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So thanks for hanging out with another product spotlight, and we'll talk to you guys later.